Hi class, sorry I couldn't be there today. I hope you had a great break, but we have to get into our notes today. So when I come back, you will have a pop quiz where you can use your notes. So get your notebooks ready. One person will be the timekeeper, so you can have your iPad out. The other person will be the mouse keeper. You will be pausing the video when I say pause. And then the timekeeper will set the time for everyone to take their notes. And then I would need everyone to take out your notebooks and take out your textbooks and get ready to take notes on Chapter 10, Lesson 3. Let's start with our do now. Please hit the timer for 3 minutes. Set the timer, don't hit it, set the timer for 3 minutes, and then hit pause. 3 minutes should have passed, and you should have written down what is an organism that makes its own food called, what is an organism that cannot make its own food called, and write one part of the cell theory. You should have went back to your notes, or you could have looked on the vocabulary side of the wall on the other side of the room where it has autotroph and heterotroph. Obviously, autotroph automatically makes its own food. Heterotroph cannot make its own food. It has to get food from other places. Like animals are heterotrophs, so are fungi and certain bacteria. Write one part of the cell theory. You could have chose any one of these. Timekeeper, you may click the timer, set the timer for 1 minute so everyone can write down the correct answers. After 1 minute, pauser, unpause this video. So click pause. Okay, this is for period 3 only. If you are not period 3, do not write this down. For third period, please pause this video for 3 minutes and choose the correct answer. Pause. Okay, the correct answer should have been, all living things are made of cells and come from other cells. Set up your notebooks, Cornell Notes style, and please take a look at the learning goal. Our target is a 3. Today, you will be able to identify cell processes that maintain homeostasis. Think of that word homeostasis. Cells have to maintain that process, and so do humans, and we're going to find out how they do that. So for your Cornell notes, you're going to set them up this way. Please be aware that you have blanks to fill in. You can't just leave those lines open because you don't know what they are when we go back to review our notes. So somebody will have to raise your hand and tell each other, what do you think you're going to have to fill in for homeostasis equals maintenance of blank, blank, blank that are necessary for life functions. Please pause this video for 5 minutes so everyone can write this down and figure out what goes in the blanks. Hit pause now. Okay, so you should have wrote down homeostasis equals maintenance of internal stable conditions that are necessary for life functions. That's what it should have been. Also, the process that helps maintain homeostasis include getting and using blank, getting and using energy from food. 2, removing wastes. Removing goes into the second blank. Look at the notes when we're taking them. Look at the bullet points and compare what goes where. when you're filling in the blanks. Pause this video for 1 minute and then we'll move on. Pause. The next slide is on page 377, and you should be writing the next part of the Cornell notes on cellular respiration. During cellular respiration, cells break down glucose molecules in the presence of oxygen, releasing energy. Waste products of this process include carbon dioxide and water. So cells get a sugar called what? Blank. Glucose from food. So the blank for the first part, sugar, is also called glucose from the food that you eat and use it in a process called blank blank. Cellular respiration should go into the second blanks. Please hit pause and write down the rest using the clues from the bullet points. Timekeeper, set the timer for 5 minutes so everyone can write down the correct bullet points and find the correct answers. Pause. Next. So we're not going to click on the video from this video. I need the substitute to please pause this video and open What is Glucose for the students to watch. It is a very interesting video that tells you what glucose is, and it's really just sugars from fruits, vegetables, carbohydrates. I just want you to get the sense that humans need glucose, and so do cells, so do bacteria, and other living beings. All living beings, even plants, need glucose. So pause this video, go to this one. Next slide, on page 377, we are going to write down photosynthesis. We all know the process of photosynthesis is where cells use energy from the sun to make energy. Please pause this for 1 minute and write this down. You do not need to write down any formulas. Once again, the substitute will pause this video and now go into the What is Photosynthesis video. You do not need to write this down. Our photosynthesis and cellular respiration the same. When you look at each one of these numbers, that's how you would compare. Is it the same? Does it look the same to you? Does this represent cellular respiration or photosynthesis? How can you tell? You don't need to write this down. I'll go into this more when I'm back. On page 377, open up your textbooks, or if you're borrowing a textbook, share with a neighbor if you don't have yours, and you're going to write down number 1 and 2. You're going to answer it. So check the box on the right. Check the box for each process that applies to the organism. Okay, so cellular respiration. Does the orange tree go through cellular respiration? Does the boy go through cellular respiration? The answer should be checked off yes. But the orange tree is the only one that goes through photosynthesis. Photosynthesis changes energy from the sun into energy stored in food. The boy gets this energy from the juice. Please pause this for 1 minute so everyone can write this in their textbooks. And if you don't have your textbooks, you could write it in your notebooks. Pause. Removing waste. Removing waste is important. Everything that is alive needs to remove waste. If waste material builds up, they act as poisons that can harm a cell and disrupt homeostasis. Waste and other materials that move in or out of the cell must cross a structure called the cell membrane. This one is important. This is the worksheet that you picked up that has the amoeba sisters. Get that ready. We're about to watch a video on that. But before that, write down, if blank builds up, it could hurt the cell. What do you think you're putting in there? You're putting in the word waste. To go in or out of the cell, waste and other things go through the blank blank. What word did we just learn? What is the highlighted word? Cell membrane. That goes in the blanks. Good job. The cell membrane is a layer that blank a cell controls what blank and blank. It's the layer that surrounds the cell and controls what enters and exits. Pause this video for 2 minutes and then write everything down with the blanks filled in. Pause. Next slide. During diffusion. Diffusion is when molecules move from an area of higher concentration of molecules to an area of lower concentration, fewer molecules. Molecules move from an area of high to an area of low. Just like think about air pressure, you're moving from high to low to maintain balance. So some things pass through using diffusion equals molecules moving from high concentration to low concentration. Write this down. Pause for 1 minute. Pause. Great job, everyone. Keep going. Reproduction of cells. Cell division. Cell division is the process where a cell splits into 2 cells that are genetically blank to the parent cell. Look at page 379, the underlined part where it says cell division. Cell division, they are genetically what? Identical to the parent cell. So fill that in. The second bullet point, homeostasis includes producing new cells to replace blank or blank cell. What do you think those 2 blanks are? It's in the second bullet point right above. Homeostasis including producing new cells to replace damaged or injured cells. Timekeeper, pause for 2 minutes. Pause. Okay. You don't have to worry about assess your understanding. We will do this when I get back. Now the we do. Get this paper out. The homeostasis one. It has the amoeba sisters. And that little thing that says, I am so important. Get that big paper out. Substitute, please pause and open the homeostasis video for the amoeba sisters. And while we're doing that, the mouse person will pause for every question. So the first question is define the word homeostasis in your own words. You might need to click on the closed caption when you are watching this video so you can read what they are saying homeostasis is. The second question says, the video clip places a lot of emphasis on the importance of the cell membrane in maintaining homeostasis in cells. Based on how you define the word homeostasis, why is the cell so important for maintaining homeostasis? Number 3, you are outside on a very cold day and you have no coat. You feel very cold. And number 3, on that box below, you're going to write what your body does when it's very cold to maintain homeostasis so your body temperature doesn't drop. Number 4, you went out running on a hot day. After your run, you sit down and you feel very warm. And so your body doesn't overheat. What does your body do to maintain homeostasis? Pause this video and open this link. Thank you. Okay, at the end of class, you're going to take the mini paper, this review and reinforce paper. It's very important. Due at the end of class. I will be grading this as a quiz grade. Everyone can work together. You could rewrite the questions 1 through 5 on the back. You could rewrite the answers. It does not need to be in complete sentences, but I would prefer it. Write your name on top of that mini paper for review and reinforce and get started. You have until the end of class to finish. For homework, you will be finishing up your vocabulary and writing the definitions for homeostasis, cellular respiration, photosynthesis, cell membrane, diffusion, and cell